Whenever developers or public agencies assess the environmental impact of their projects, they must consider historical resources in accordance with California Environmental Quality Act guidelines. This is where cultural monitors come into the picture.
A cultural monitor is an individual from whatever indigenous tribe calls that area home and has called that area home likely for thousands of years. And their job is to preserve and protect our past heritage. They're there to make sure things are not damaged or that things are properly identified and essentially ensure our interest within the project itself.
Cultural monitors from the Santa Ynez Band of Chumash Indians have been trained to identify ancestral areas and the cultural materials found there. They also help ensure that Native American human remains and any associated grave items are treated with culturally appropriate dignity, as intended by state law. The tribe has been developing and dispatching cultural monitors since the 1980s.
I've been on the reservation most of my life, and I looked at it as an opportunity to learn more about my culture and my ancestors and where they have been and where their presence was at one time. We had to do lab work as well as field work before we got out in the field. And that introduced us to certain plants, the species of different shells, but also gave us knowledge and ability to be aware of what we were looking for when we're out in the sites.
Elise monitored for 8 years and now serves on the Santa Ynez Band of Chumash Indians Elders Council, which oversees the cultural monitoring program for the tribe. Today, Chumash cultural monitors are present on construction sites throughout the original Chumash territory, stretching from Malibu to Paso Robles, using their keen eyes for detail to help protect California history.
You'll have large scrapers that are moving earth and removing it to terraform it, flatten it for development. So when those scrapers go to lunch, you go out there and you actually sift through the dirt to see if they're pulling up any cultural material. And if they are, then you alert whoever's in charge and they will negotiate a new plan if that's necessary. If not, then they just continue and you know what you find, you collect it, or you don't. It just depends on the parameters of the project.
You're constantly looking down on the ground, but you also have to look around you to see the environment that is surrounding you. If you're aware of your surroundings and you're looking up, you'll know those areas where our ancestors were gathering, where they were hunting, where they were praying, where they were doing their ceremonies, which is very spiritual to me.
Much of what archaeologists and monitors uncover can date from 500 to 13,000 years ago and provide insight into how our culture and society have changed over that span of time.
I had the opportunity to survey part of San Miguel Island, and the island itself is remarkable. Some of the oldest archaeological sites found on the Channel Islands. We would find these lithic tools, these projectile points that are what you would expect an arrow point to be, but it was give or take 10,000 years before the bow and arrow was thought to be here.
The first thing I want to do is take a picture and call my kids and say, hey, check this out. But you can't do that. So it's excitement within the group. You know, it's a feeling of, okay, this is why we're here.
All monitors agree that it's extraordinary and unique to be able to hold history in their hands and record it so that the information exists for future generations.
I'm learning a lot about my past that I can tell not only my kids, but just other people in general.
As a monitor, you're the stewards of your past, but you're also instrumental in the future of your tribal culture. You're protecting 13,000 years of it, and it helps further tie you to the land that you grew up in, and your ancestors grew up in.
I'm proud of what we've accomplished. I'm proud of what we preserved. I'm proud of what we protected. You know, there's always going to be that development that's going to disturb and destroy our material, but I hope they keep in mind that this is not just our story. This is a California story. This is our Chumash ancestry, and it's like a precious gem of our history that belongs to all of us.